We would be happy to take any questions at this time.
I would like to clarify your market potential definition and then how you arrived at your target market defined in your business proposition. In your market potential discussion, you indicate that nearly 1/3 of all food gardeners are organic producers. However, I don't see any further discussion about targeting organic producers directly in your business proposition. Can you tell me why we aren't focusing on them specifically?
That's a good question, and I wanted to just really direct and highlight that this application would be useful in the event that gardeners do want to pursue an organic production. However, this was not essentially our target market, and we just wanted to promote to, in general, all hobby farmers and home gardeners, but we did want to stress that in the event that you are an organic producer, this is in fact an application you can use.
Just to build upon what Carlos was saying, in our marketing campaign, we are targeting organic gardening, so we are planning on pursuing this market quite a bit.
This might be a detail, but I'm looking at the financials, and you have administrative salaries, and you have travel expenses for for personal selling. I don't see sales staff costs, any salaries or commissions anywhere.
Well, the salaries are right there. That's 38%. And then if you'll go to the other slide, please. This basically it's the other graph. Could you clarify, I guess, maybe the question?
Well, maybe it's as simple as administrative salaries include sales staff salaries. Maybe that's just
The salaries are all included
Okay.
in that.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking.
And you have a lot of sales activity at garden shows, that sort of thing. That's a really high labor-intensive sort of a tactic. Do you have any thoughts on ROI, return on investment, for those sorts of in-person trade show activities? There's a lot of time wrapped up in those.
We're going to be attending 10 shows, and we feel that'll be a significant amount to get our product name out there, but it's also not too many. We feel that will definitely be feasible from our sales staff. We are only going to be attending 10 shows, so we feel that number is good in terms of getting our product out there and not wearing out our sales staff. Because yes, it is very labor intensive, very intense, and can take a lot out of our sales staff.
I see that we're targeting the association, which I imagine for the or the garden centers would be the smaller independent retail operations. Why are we not going into the big home center markets, the Lowe's, the Home Depots, and those types of opportunities?
We feel that since we are a small business, our big scheme is small businesses helping small businesses. And even if we only reach 50% of the garden shops that we've identified, this still represents a high margin market. I mean, we have 100 customers going into these garden shops, and we honestly just don't feel that if we pursue the avenues such as Walmart and the big stores, they're going to drill us down so much on price that we're just not going to be building the exposure that we need and making the profit that we need.
Thank you.
One of the threats you had was the technology being able to be easily duplicated or duplicated by a competitor. Is there a patent in place? Do we have something in place to protect the technology, or where are we at with that?
While the technology can be duplicated, it would produce products that are similar, but no other products would be able to use the insecticide and the repellents that we have included with it. So that's our patentability stance there. We'll be able to patent the product on there. We just didn't have it in the slides as you noted there, but it's definitely going to be patentable with those things in mind.
Okay, great.
You mentioned that you're going to use a Google word search or advertising search, that type of thing. I saw the slide pop up there real quick, and it said $120,000 is going to be applied to that, I think. Did I misread that?
Got that for you. It's underneath the internet promotions. Is that
Right,
what you're
internet
targeting?
promotions would
Okay,
it be
this
under
is
that?
all internet promotions.
Okay,
As
so,
we stated earlier, it also includes the Facebook Marketplace.
okay,
Google AdWord is based off of a price per click to direct to your site.
Right.
Facebook is also under the same way. We've also included internet promotions, any web advertising or web banners or anything of that nature we would also like to do. We
Sure.
lump that all into one category. So that's not just the price per click for 120,000 a year, because that would be awfully steep.
no, it wouldn't. No, trust me, pay-per-click is really expensive. It can get there unless you put a cap on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and we budgeted for daily caps. That's why we
Okay.
kept it so low, especially because we're just starting off. We don't want it to get out of hand right off the bat. So we want to keep that budget in check right off the bat. And if we grow, then we can increase those budgets along.
Okay,
along the way.
that, I feel better about that now.
You rightfully identified the threat that government mandates for biodiesel use may affect supply of your raw materials. But I didn't really hear a lot about what you would do if that did change. So what do you have in mind for steps?
Well, right now, in the current jobs bill, the biodiesel tax incentive hasn't expired. And currently, it is in the jobs bill that is in Congress right now being debated. But according to all the research that we've done, even before the government policy was implemented, there was still such a huge supply of glycerin that this isn't going to be as much of a problem.
One thing that I noticed, you had a kind of a two-stage marketing plan. Number one was going to editors and other medias, but you weren't developing the website. I think that was in October, but the website wasn't being developed and pushed out until February. How do you plan on bringing any type of product and or company perspective to those people that you're marketing and sending information to where there's not a website for them to go to for more information?
Currently, with the promotions that we send to the home gardeners and the columnists, we're going to talk about the YouTube videos that we'll have posted previously and our Facebook groups. So it'll be directed to that first, and then also we'll be making phone calls to the 1,700 locations that we're looking after. So right now, the website is such a technical website; it takes time to develop, and that's why we're pushing it back till the February launch.
I would like some clarification on how you arrived at the $10 per gardener potential customer value. What data informed that $10 statistic?
Sorry, I had to wait for the microphone. Basically, what we envision here is if it's $5 a package, we're envisioning that we could, on average, sell 2 per customer. Some of the early adopters may only try 1 package. Some people, if they have like a 10 by 10 garden, they may buy 5 or 6 packages, but the average will come back down to that 2. And this is true in various scenarios with all new products. So we just felt that the 2 packages per customer was a modest expectation to start off with, and that'll grow over time as well.
So what is the average size of a garden for your target segment?
I believe it's 10 by 20.
Did you do any primary research on how people felt about this? It feels pretty solid, and it doesn't really feel like it's going to go away. Is there some concern? Have you heard any concern about that?
We've actually done multiple tests on the decomposition at the end of the year. Throughout the year, the sunlight and the weather conditions will affect that. It'll start to break down, but it'll still be very, the light will permeate it. It'll still be effective, but once you go to cultivate your ground again, mix it in the soil, you won't even notice that it's there the year after you go to apply a new one. We've done multiple tests in greenhouses as well as our horticultural center to prove this. There'll be no problems for the next year for it still being around.
Okay. Does it come in green and yellow?
If you want green and yellow, we will make it.
Show off.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.